All right, so I'm just the idiotic, stupid dog, and the producer insisted that as the talent that I would have to listen to, and this is kind of a, I don't want to say a queerby kind of a thing, or a manipulative kind of a thing, where you're manipulated into doing something you don't want to do, something that makes you feel dirty, something that makes you feel as soon as you get done doing it, you wonder, wow, should I commit suicide or just take a hot shower? I mean, whatever, it's all right. But suffice to say, this all comes down to a legion of skanks situation. I was going to say a legion of skanks take, but the producer's the one who's foistering this upon me as an idiotic, stupid dog. I don't want to do this. So I almost feel for these victims about whom I am about to, what I'm saying, you're trying to make something, on their graves. You're trying to make you're trying to get a couple views and maybe pick up a couple of hints on the graves of these victims. And so this is what we're doing. This is how it, so you think what? Either what? I have to step in front of a cement truck or I have to go waller in a disgusting deep pool of shitty water. Whatever. It's okay. I'm a dog, so I can handle it. But, So this is a legion of skanks take. And I'm not even sure what they were doing. I didn't want to delve into it. It has something to do with manipulation, sexual harassment, sexual deviancy, sexual abuse. And what the skanks are trying to figure out is who's the most at fault, the sexual abuser or the people that go along, i.e. the victims, the sexual assault victims. Who's most to be at fault? The one that says, I got to have this, I got to do this thing, or the one that says, I don't know what you're wanting to do, but God, you got a nice yacht, you got a big apartment, you're flashing a lot of coin, you're enticing me. Listen, all the potential sexual abuse victims have to understand once you're being enticed, it's over. You screwed up. You got to run away. You got to go the other direction. Once you're getting enticed, believe me, if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. If you're getting enticed, that means they're not earning it on their merit. They're tricking you, and you're kind of buying into it. You're allowing yourself to be tricked because you're gambling. You're like, maybe this is a nice person, even though he's not using his niceness to win me. He's manipulating. He's using his viciousness, his scheming, his ploys, his wiles. He's manipulating me. Whether it's a guy or a girl who's being abused by a guy, it applies both ways. So anyways, Mr. Gomez, in this take that I could take from this clip that the producer sent me, Mr. Gomez opens with, he even says it, he froze. So that's not a good Mr. Gomez impersonation, but it goes to the heart of what Mr. Gomez is saying. Mr. Gomez says, he even says it. He just froze. So right there, Mr. Gomez is saying, you're a victim, but you're guilty because you just froze. Why did you just freeze? Because you were debating. You weren't running away like you should have. You weren't recognizing. You weren't following your instincts. You weren't listening to your inner voice. You froze because you were frozen between, the thing that told you get the hell away and the thing that told you, but I want to get what they're giving. I want to get what they're giving out to take this kind of abuse. So that's why Mr. Gomez is implying that the victim is the one who is the more guilty than the victimizer or the abuser, because the victim had the control where he could have run away, but he decided not to. And Mr. Gomez quotes this victim. He says, the victim just says, according to Mr. Gomez, I just froze, and then I just kept going over to his house and getting fucked for 2 years. So let's repeat that. Mr. Gomez, he opens with, he even says it. I just froze. He's quoting the victim. He continues to quote the victim. I just froze, and then I just kept going over to his house and getting fucked for 2 years. And then Mr. Gomez breaks. He is no longer, quoting the victim. He's making a commentary himself. He says, it just sounds like a gay relationship. That's Mr. Gomez's take. Big OJ Okerson, Big OJ, he says, that's what I mean. A lot of these things were like, you could have done something. You could have done a thing. So that's Big J's commentary. Big J, he chimes in. Big J Okerson, he chimes in with, that's what I mean. A lot of those things were like, you could have done something. You could have done a thing. That's what it's a direct quote. You could have done something, and I don't know if he's drunk or if he's a moron or if he's stupidic. He just says, you could have done a thing. You could have done something. You could have done a thing. A thing? Yeah. You could have just started sweeping the floor. You could have tried to, I don't know what, brew some iced tea. You could have tried to, I don't know what, give somebody a back rub. You could have tried to find some Nautilus and get a good workout. And you could have done a thing. You could have started collecting stamps right then and there when the guy trying to bugger you. You could have started collecting stamps and that would have changed it all. You could have done a thing, Big J says. The weirdest thing is Big J and Mr. Gomez, they switch it from a guy getting diddled and buggered and abused to a girl, and he goes off on talking about the girls. Listen, I'm a yuck, stupid dog. We all know that the victim at some point said, I'm willing to take that chance that this is a bad situation, even though inside themselves the alarm bells were going off. So there's two things I want to say as an yuck, stupid dog. And I asked the little spray tan girl about this, and the little spray tan girl's opinion informs my opinion. First thing is, they're getting groomed. They're getting groomed, so it's more, you got to weigh it heavier to the victimizer than the victim because they're getting groomed. The other thing, I already forgot what I was going to say. The other thing is they're getting groomed, but the other thing is, I don't know what. Maybe I could search my thing. I'm trying to figure it out. As the little spray tan girl helped me understand it. I'm a dog. I can't remember. Maybe it was something like, you should try to err on the side of goodness. Or maybe if the victims are buying in, maybe they're, I don't know what it was. They shouldn't go along. When the alarm bells go off, they should say, okay, I understand it. Again, maybe Big J Okerson and Luis Gomez shouldn't be making their hay on the backs of these poor victims. Maybe you should always realize that the guy who's doing the victimization, not the victim, but the guy who's doing the victimization, he's the bad one. No matter who bears what responsibility, the one who's practicing evil is the victimizer. But whatever. I'm a stupid dog. This whole thing turned my stomach. I'm sick. I think I want to go vomit. Now, the bad thing is, once the dog vomits, the first thing that enters his mind after he vomits is, should I eat that vomit? Should I eat that vomit? That vomit looks so good. It smells so good. Like, should I roll in the vomit? Should I get it all through my coat? Should I get in the nape of my neck? Should I roll in the vomit? Should I eat the vomit? Or should I walk away from the vomit? Should I roll in the vomit? Should I eat the vomit? Or should I just simply walk away from the vomit? As a dog, I know what I think. But as a dog, I'm asking you to, you tell me.